Hello, sir.
What's going on, bud?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good. I haven't seen you since the world changed.
I know, right?
Oh,
Crazy.
wow. Yeah. So how is it? How have you been for 5 months?
Been good, just been chasing these fights. I had one so went out to New York for the press conference, a big Bellator press conference, and that was the last time I even flew. Got back and then it started to hit pretty good. And then had a fight scheduled that May, and then halfway through camp came down that obviously it was going to be canceled. So from there, I was just kind of waiting. Am I going to fight in June? Am I going to fight in July? And then it ended up being August. So I've been training. I've been keeping my head down, and really didn't know which weight class I was going until a few weeks ago. So I'm just ready to do it. It's been on my mind for a while, and back to the original opponent. So here we go.
So there was an option that you might have fought at heavyweight as well during this lockdown in Mohegan as well, yeah.
Well, yeah, because there was so many, there's travel restrictions. Nemkov couldn't get in for a while. So then we were looking at heavyweight. And then when there was a chance that he could get in, I probably knew about 4 weeks ago that it was going to be Nemkov at light heavyweight. So a lot of stuff up in the air.
I was at that press conference and I interviewed Nemkov there that day with Fedor, obviously his teacher, who he's going to avenge defeat for.
Yeah.
What do you think about that narrative that you're not just up against Nemkov, but you're up against almost like the chess match with Fedor as well? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like I said before too, it's not a tag team, wrestling match here. He's got to be out there doing himself. He can't tag Fedor in. He can't bring him in the cage with him. So, that whatever. That doesn't get me at all. Fedor from our fight got absolutely nothing that he could bring back to Nemkov with. We didn't get in one grappling exchange, a clinch, or anything like that. All he knows that I hit hard and I'm fast. So what can he take from that? Nothing really. So it's not really a concern of mine at all.
Well, he'll take the fact that you outlined that strategy, knowing that you could throw the left and the right, and because that's why you were so delighted afterwards, because the game plan paid off perfectly. That you didn't even take a blow, and they can take it that you're very dangerous with strategy. They can take that from the fight.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously Fedor trained for me, and so they watched a lot of tape. Probably, and he can pass that on what he's kind of learned and throw that into Nemkov's game. But at the end of the day, you're out there. Every fight's a big fight. Doesn't matter if it's a title. Doesn't matter if if you're on a two loss streak. Every fight is huge, and so there's no added pressure at all for me. There might be for him just because it's his first 5-round fight. It's his first title fight. But I'm good to go.
The one thing you've got to say about Nemkov is that he certainly deserves a title shot, I think, Ryan, that he's earned his stripes. Liam McGeary, Phil Davis, I can't think of others off the top of my head now, but he's done the ladder work. He's climbed the ladder. And, physically he's there, isn't he? So this is you must be up for, obviously you've been up for all the fights, but
yeah.
You're very proudly held both the belts as a champ, and it's something, we've seen you grow with that as well. We saw you grow in the tournament. We know that you're at full maturity as a fighter, I would say now. This is like your mature period, isn't it? This guy could stretch you. This guy could make your hands full, couldn't he, with the skills and the physicality that he's got?
Oh, yeah. I've been watching him for a while. He's beat, I think 3 former champions. And I don't take too much away from that because I've never been in there with a lot of the guys. The one fight I can take away is from his Phil Davis fight. Because I have been in there with Phil Davis twice. I've wrestled him. I know how strong he is and all that kind of stuff. So, I know Nemkov is definitely legit. And, he comes out really fast, so that makes this kind of for a fireworks fight. He's relatively young. has 12, 13, 14 fights or whatnot. So I'd look to exploit that too. He's never been in a 5-round fight. Rarely goes to 3. And, when he does go to 3, if you saw like in the Phil Davis fight, he was, sucking wind after every round. And in the 3rd round got kind of dominated, he hasn't answered the bell before, fighting Japan, so I have a lot of great things to say about him, but there's some stuff that I see too that I can exploit.
On the other side of things, obviously, you've been in lockdown with Daisy and the family, yeah.
Yeah.
How has that been? Did you stay very small, close-knit community, and maybe had a great time with being with the kids for a longer period than you normally with them as well,
Yeah. So the kids are obviously no school the later half of their school year, and currently, they're virtual, which is kind of a pain here and there, but because we have 3, 8, 7, and 5-year-old.
All boys, no?
I got one girl in the middle.
You got a girl in the middle, okay.
Yeah, and so we've had our fun, and and it's nice having the kids there all the time, and it gets crazy sometimes too, but I have a building that we work out in, and so it's not open to the public or anything. So I was kind of, I picked a couple of training partners. We got tested quite a bit, and just rolled with them. Just kept the group small with a bunch of, a decent amount of good guys, and usually I'm bringing guys in, every couple of weeks and all that. It didn't happen this time. But it turned out to be a great camp. I didn't miss a beat, and it's nice just focusing on a few different things, family and training.
Well, what just finally, like, in the wider picture, because I know you're a thinking person as well, like, what's your take on how strange the world has become, and also not strange, not different it's become, but also within that, there've been movements that we've had to be informed about and stuff as well. What's your take on how the world's changed? You're a very thinking person. It's not like you'd have let it pass you by.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where, I think we all need to kind of, stick together as far as everybody come together, basically. Especially with the COVID thing. And who knows, I don't love to talk about politics, and who knows, in the U.S., after the election, and if it calms down and whatnot, you seem to see a lot of this stuff happening around this time, yeah, I mean, it's, for me, I'm just keeping my head down, doing my thing, focusing on my family, friends, and getting this fight. And so there's a lot of changes going to be coming to this world, and we'll be in it.
Well, because one of the things, having spent a lot of time kind of isolating myself and talking to, lots of people in the fight world seems quite a healthy world, even though it's seen as a circus. It's quite a healthy world in terms of men and women and color and race, and for some weird reason, even though we're all like misfits in the fight world, like that my general conversations have ended on with many people. But do you know what? It's not so bad, the fight world, when you think about it, as the world outside almost. Do you know what I mean?
100%, in athletics. I've been in athletics my whole life, and at the highest degree too. And you have every single kind of race, person, gender in there. And
creed and color, yeah.
And we all love each other, work hard, and we're all going for that